Okay, we are literally 2 seconds in, and you're already in your Wi-Fi already. All right, there you go. Now you're freed up. All right, welcome. Episode 2 of the Ridiculous Reseller Rendezvous. It was a good first week. A little long on the first week, but it was a good first week. If you guys want to hear the numbers, I don't know what we did on Spotify. We just got on Spotify yesterday. But we got 31 YouTube subscribers in 1 week.
Oh, that's good.
Not too bad. I know most of them are from probably resellers from another podcast I watch and stuff like that. And I'm on their Patreon Discord group. So they'd like to check over and see what the hell's going on in Pennsylvania. Because they're all out of state. There's a Delaware guy. Down there, a lot of them are down south and out west. So that's the only reason I watch it, is to see what's going on across the country in reselling, not necessarily just Pennsylvania. So, what are you drinking today, Joe? What's the drink of the day?
You're making me happy. Seagram's.
You're making me happy. I'm going with an old fashioned. I made an old fashioned today. I'm going to sit up here and sip an old fashioned.
I got a Monster Energy drink.
We got Monster to make me happy and an old fashioned. I should say the old fashioned is made with Buffalo Trace. They don't pay us, but that's the unofficial sponsor of the podcast. So this was about week 2 or 3 of yard sales. How was this weekend?
Yeah, a little better than last weekend.
Any good finds?
I got a ship's clock, and I thought it would have been a $400 or $500 clock, and it turns out it's only like a $200 clock. But still, it was $20.
Yeah, pretty good return on that.
Yeah.
What'd you find, Joe? Mr. Lucky.
Got a Vitamix. $10 Vitamix. See what else I get. Few little things. Nothing real major. I got that green Barton flat silver plate.
Yeah, Ron, I was talking to Joe Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was Saturday morning. You sent me a picture of that Vitamix. It's the only guy I know who goes away on a trip to a casino, wakes up Saturday and realizes, oh shit, there's a community yard sale right down the road.
Jackpot!
Yeah, I thought he was taking a Saturday off, but nope.
Would have, but they canceled it last weekend, so
I think it was like 4 years ago. I went to I was going to Ocean City, Maryland, and I stopped over at Dover Downs, and I get free room. So I figured what I do, we get there one night. That way I can just get up, and it's only an hour drive down to the beach, Ocean City, Maryland. So we get up, and I stopped by it wasn't a thrift store. It was more like a pawn shop. And I was going through, and I picked up a couple of really nice fountain pens for like maybe $60-$70 total. And then I must have scored almost $1,000. They never looked up the stuff when they priced them.
That's their loss.
Yeah.
I went out Friday evening. There's a big sale down in E-Town. I've been to that neighborhood before. I never go Friday evenings, but they open up at 4:00 and grabbed some stuff there. And then Saturday went down to Wrightsville in York County. The borough-wide neighborhood sale was junk. It was just, there might have been in the whole borough 15 yard sales. The highlights of the weekend were Friday night. I got a Odyssey white ice golf putter. Paid $15, but it wasn't your normal putter. It's one of the broom putters. It's 48 inches tall. It's one of the ones you hold against your chest. It's like, that's not bad.
Aren't they cheater putters now? Aren't they illegal in certain golf clubs?
I'm not sure what the length is, but there is a regulation on the length now for the PGA Tour. I don't know what it is. I'm 6'4". This thing comes up to my chest. And
is that the one where it has like a big grip and then an empty spot and then another lower grip?
Yeah. And the guy's like, oh yeah. I said, I might try it out since I golf. I was like, Man, I swung that thing once. Like, I will knock that ball across the green because I don't know how you control the speed with it. Like, but I mean, the comps are there. The comps are $160 to $200. So I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing else really big. I did Saturday. I came across a guy and bought one of them Tonka Winnebagos, or I don't even know if it's Tonka. It might be Indian or something like that. And he goes, "Hey, the coins and baseball cards are on the porch." A, I'm not a coin guy. B, I don't know much about sports cards. Unless they're graded, I like to look at them and maybe buy them. So I go up to the porch and I couldn't tell what he had in coins, but he knows stuff. He was an older guy, but he had 3 boxes of baseball cards mostly. And the first box was all graded. And I start flipping through and I'm seeing $400, $600, $700 a card. I'm like, geez. But they were all cards from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And I've never seen in my life, it was a once in a lifetime for me that in my hand at one time, I probably held about 15 to 20 Mickey Mantle cards graded. I was like, wow. I mean, I'll never come across that again. And I didn't buy them. I didn't bother looking them up, but most of the Mickey Mantle cards were graded 4 or a 5 on PSA. And I was like, $400 to $500 a card. I was like, you don't have anything graded higher? Like a 9, where's the 9 or 10?
Yeah.
Well, if I had 9s or 10s, I wouldn't be living in this house. Which I get. I mean, I looked them up and you could have made a little bit, but it wasn't worth my. I'm not putting out $400 or $500 for a card to make $40 off of. It's just not my time. And with that fluctuating market, I wasn't taking that risk. But it was so. Disappointed there. There's another neighborhood across the river in Lancaster County. Did pretty good off early in the morning. So that made up for the York County fail. That's all you got, Joe, was the big Vitamix. That was your big deal. Was it clean? Because the Vitamix I got the other week, the carafe wasn't. I can't get the stains out of it.
It's clean, but it's being used. But the base is clean too. The rubber I took. There's a rubber gasket that the bowl sits. You can put that off. I cleaned out underneath it and stuff, but it's pretty clean. It's an older.
Yeah,
actually they must have upgraded. Box that it was from Costco, so and it was a different one, and put that one in the box. It wasn't the same model number as this, so they must have. This one, I think this one was dated. It's about 8 years old.
Yeah, my main unit was clean. It was just the crap was stained. It looks like chocolate powder. I can't get. I mean, I tried everything. I couldn't get it out of there. So
really?
It is what it is. I tried.
Now, when you test these, do you run anything through it?
Usually just ice.
I learned a long time ago with blenders, you got to put some water or something in and let it run for a minute or two. Make sure the seals hold tight, especially on vintage. Make sure it doesn't.
Yeah, I usually just throw a couple ice cubes and a little bit of water in there.
But I knew crap. Oh, I put in a listing. This is it's got wear. The base is fine. If it needs to do mixing craft, then you're going to have to get one because those are, you can buy them. I think they're like $60-$70 or something.
Are you on your house Wi-Fi, Joe?
I started off with the cell. Told you, man. I'm out here in the country.
You're in and out, but you did good last week. Towards the end of the show, you did really good on the cellular.
Yeah, you keep freezing up on our end.
Yeah, your voice is in and out, in and out. Any big sales, Ron, last week? Good sales.
Sales. Let me see here.
I sold a pack of underwear today.
Yeah, I just sold Christmas ornaments right before we went live here.
I sold a pack of Hanes brief. I was sitting at work today for $18. I picked them up for 25 cents at a yard sale last year. Brand new. I mean, it was a big pack. It was like 12 pairs of underwear.
Yeah, for some reason, my system, we open up a different browser. eBay does not like Mozilla for some reason. There's many things you can do.
My sale of the week came today. We record on Monday, we release on Wednesday. So yeah, it was actually last night. I actually was watching TV and sold this cha-ching sold for $135. I'm like, what the hell was that? Because I knew I didn't have nothing listed for that price. But Joe, you will remember out in Allentown last year. Remember that box of Thomas Wooden Railway train cars I bought? They were blank. It was kind of like a paint your own type deal.
Oh yeah. Oh,
and
yeah, brand new in the box.
Yeah, it was a case of 50, but one was missing. So I had 49.
Right.
And I sold one of them for like $12. And here somebody bought 12 of them last night. And they didn't wait. And they paid shipping on each individual one. So, of course, I combined shipping. I mailed them out. And I mean, I won't refund shipping costs unless they send me a message or something. I mean, they paid $70 to ship them. And I think they were going to maybe Missouri. I'm thinking, dude, I mean, I have it set up and I actually had it set up. If you buy one, each additional one's like $2. So not sure what got lost in the eBay platform, but it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, I always give refunds on combined shipping.
But I do when they ask. I thought for sure I was going to get a message today. I'm like, why does it cost me $70 to ship these? And I'm like, oh, no problem. I'll send you over the money, but that's on them. I don't know. So that was my big sale of the week.
Sounds like
is a bronze bust for $500. I did a little over 5,000 in the last 7 days.
It's not too bad.
No.
5,200 items in your store.
7,000 something.
What'd you do last week, Joe?
Yeah, 200 or 300.
Hey, you got rid of that watch. You got rid of that tag here, that stopwatch.
I went for about 75 or so. I only had a couple things. Yeah, 200 or 300 maybe. I didn't have much on. I got more on this week now than I've had. I'm getting easy.
Yeah, I'm on a mission to do 15 items a day, listing 15 items a day this week since I got a lot of yard sale inventory the past 2 weeks.
No, I'm one of the few that mine's except for things, and I don't put it buy it now. It's auction. If it don't sell the first time, it goes in the trash or back to the thrift store.
Hey, I was that way. I mean, I didn't do a store on eBay until last year. All mine was I was going to change my name to the $9.99 guy and just let it ride. But I figure I like the store. I like the store motto. If it sits too long, that's when it goes to the auction style. And if it doesn't go in the auction style, it goes to the Williams Grove pile. So I came up with a topic. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. I don't know if anybody else touched on this. A couple of the other podcasts I listened to, they haven't touched on it. What do you guys think the yard sale or auction trends? My guess would be yard sale, garage sales, estate sales. What do you think the trend is in 2024?
Well,
a lot of sales, less sales.
Auctions are basically nowadays are online for the auction houses. You know, since the COVID shutdown, they realized that they're making so much more money doing it, you know, online versus live in person only, that getting a chance of getting good deals at local auctions anymore. Because now you're competing with, you know, the world, especially big auction houses.
Oh yeah. I don't. Does anybody even do on sites anymore around here?
They do, but they're few and far in between. I would imagine some of these auction houses who don't feel like going through a whole farmhouse, you know, picking stuff out. But I've seen auctions where they do that and they just sell the whole room. Just take 20 pictures and say the whole room. And they say, you know, take what you want, leave behind what you don't. I'm like, that's what I want to hear. Not like a storage unit where you got to take the whole damn thing.
Yeah. Did you ever go out to the bid board, Ron?
What, up in the is that up in the coal region area?
Yeah, it used to be up in Frackville. Now it's down in Orwigsburg, just north of Cabela's.
Okay, yeah, that's the coal region. I've been there. I never really partaked in it. They were part of the black.
It's a long day. It is a long. If you want to pick your stuff up that night, it is a long day. I mean, but you can get deals. I mean, I've gotten good deals up there. So Joe and I used to go up to Frackville during the wintertime, at least December, January, maybe February, and we used
Wasn't
to
that
do
part of
pretty
the
good.
Black Agnes Mall or something like that?
Yeah, they tore the whole mall is gone now.
Yeah.
I don't know what, probably a warehouse, but yeah, now it's in some big brick building. I don't know, maybe about 5 minutes, 10 minutes north of Cabela's out on 78. Still got a lot of shit. I mean, I think it's bigger now. They got more space now than what they did up north. You almost have to go out the day before and do your comping, your comps, and then go back the day and just snipe bids. I mean, there's thousands of lots. What's your take on the economy and yard sales this year, Joe?
I don't know. So far, everybody stuff high. I think they're looking online and seeing everything else and figuring that the eBay prices at the yard sales it's starting to slow down. I don't know. I'm glad I'm retired because with the auctions all going online and everything else, the price, the margins, the profit margins are getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, I thought last year there was a lot of sales, a lot of garage sales, yard sales, and the prices were okay. And I mean, the economy wasn't good last year either. This year,
the quality of stuff wasn't real good. It was just junk, just decorating stuff you would just buy just because you want it, and then you're throwing it out. Nobody wants a house, and if there's 20 tables, you might find one thing if you're lucky.
Yeah, I what I've seen in the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks here, I think there's going to be a lot of yard sales this year because people need money. The economy's bad. They need to put gas in their car or buy groceries, but the prices are high. I mean, there's good stuff, but boy, the prices, they're not what they were 3 years ago, 2 years ago, hell, even last year.
A lot of times when I go to a yard sale and I see high prices, I don't waste time. I just leave.
Oh yeah.
If they looked everything up and they're trying to sell it at eBay prices, it doesn't make any sense for you to sit there and spend 10, 15 minutes looking things up to double check their prices.
Yeah, I usually roll out, and if it's geographically convenient, I don't mind trying to circle back at the end of the day and seeing the stuff still sit there and maybe try to work a deal on something, and try to explain to them, hey, that's what you think it goes for, but when you have the logistics set up like us resellers do, all that time setting up the logistics takes time and money, and we've already done that, so we're recouping cost on that. And sometimes they do, but sometimes the people are like, nope, I won't let it go for that. And I mean, whatever, good luck. Go sell it yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go find the box, go get the bubble wrap,
go ahead and sell
print
it
the label.
Yeah. Then I tell them, don't be surprised when you start getting bills from the IRS and everyone else, because starting this year, anything over $500, you got to start paying federal, state, and local.
Yeah, I'll guarantee it. Every one of them that says, well, I'll just sell it online, none of them do. They don't.
No. It will sit in their closet forever. They'll bring it out next year's yard sales. I've seen the same thing at yard sales, 3 years in a row.
Right.
Or we'll sit in Facebook Marketplace for that same price they went at the yard sales. Like, dude, nobody's buying it.
I'll tell you what, though, I picked up a Catalan radio last year for $10, and they must have had the sticker price on there so long that when I took the sticker off on the case, it left a big detailed mark on the top where it was. So I didn't know how you could maybe somehow buff out the case. I don't know, but they must have tried to sell that for years. And I'm like, no one bought a Catalan radio. I mean, I think I got $400 for it.
I mean, there are them high ones. The good ones are when you go to the yard sale and have everything printed out. Like, you spent how much? Colored too. Colored ink. So first of all, you printed 35 eBay comps out on colored paper, and you priced it like literally $1 below what the asking price. Not even a sold price, the asking price.
Well, sometimes I've had people already have something priced at $500, and I sit there and I show them Yeah, you looked at active. You didn't look at completed. In my phone, I sort by completed by high price first. So I would show them comps based on price. Of course, I don't show them the top dollar one, but I start scrolling towards the middle to give them an average. And I'm honest when I'm out there. I'm a full-time dealer. This is what I do. I said I'll be expecting I'll probably get maybe 100, 110 bucks for it. I can give you $35. I said after fees, paying taxes, shipping, I said I'm going to make at that price at $100, $20. I might be surprised. Sometimes they'll say, "No, I'll sell it to you."
Yeah. That's why I explain to people, it's like, I can list this pen. I can literally list this pen right now for $100,000, and it will sit on eBay for $100,000 for years. Just because people are asking for something, that's not the real value of it.
You'll get the one on that just for the hell of it.
It's like the people put those Disney Black Diamond videos on there for $1,000.
Or you get the Cheeto that looks like the Virgin Mary, and they want $10,000 for it. Yeah. Oh, look at this auction for this Lay's potato chip that looks like Mary Magdalene. And it's like, yeah, they ran the auction up to $42,000. Nobody's paying that. That sale's going non-completed.
Yep.
But I do find the yard sales this year, I think there will be a lot. So, I mean, the chances of finding stuff is there. It's going to be a lot of work.
Oh, I got probably 50 things like this weekend. I bought stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I bought stuff Friday night, which I expect. If you're going the first day of the sale, you're going to pay up. Nobody really wants to work with you. And Saturday, it's gone, or they'll work with you then. But
yeah,
I just think overall, I think prices are going to be high this year. I just think people need the money. And I don't know where they're getting what it's worth. Some of them aren't looking up eBay. I don't know what they're doing. They feel they paid $60 for a video game. It's worth $40. It's like,
by 9 o'clock, everything's picked. And by 10 o'clock, I start looking at oddball things I don't know much about.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And that's how I learn about new items.
Or I start picking up the small stuff for the eBay store, just the $10, $15 item that I'm going to maybe bundle up and get it for 50 cents in a pile of stuff. But by 9 o'clock, it's tough. I mean,
yeah, but there's things like coffee mugs. There's certain coffee mugs that are worth 50, 60, 70 bucks. And I'm not talking like the old vintage Fire King Jadites or anything. Yeah, I know Hippy. He loves those. He's always getting the Jadites.
Mr. Starbucks.
Yeah, but you're right. Starbucks is a good one. Good example. You get some of the older Starbucks mugs. They're worth big money.
Hmm.
And what's
Told
that?
You, Joe.
Was it? They had problems with it. They were selling out everywhere.
You need to move closer to your Wi-Fi thing, Joe.
Not on Wi-Fi. I'm on T-Mobile data. I got 2 bars. That's all I got.
Well, that's why you're on T-Mobile. You're on.
What kind of roof do you got there?
He looks
like not a roof. It's wide open. What are you talking about? Ain't no roof.
Okay.
I got mountains. I got cell towers right over there.
Now the sound worked.
Tower, I can tell you that.
the sound worked good there. Maybe we should just look at the mountains and listen to you. Yeah, Joe gets a hard on for jadeite. He loves jadeite, but man, he laughs at me when I pick up coffee mugs. Like they take up little space. Yeah, I get
candle mugs bring $15. Come on.
When my wife took a hiatus from real estate, she wanted to try eBay with me. So she was out yard selling on her own. And she came across a whole box full of jadeite for $10.
Oh.
And she looked at it. She goes, I think that's just too old. I don't want to buy that. And when she told me about it, like, oh my God, go back and buy it. And it was gone.
Oh, ain't no way it was there. Went back.
Yeah. You probably bought it, Joe.
Oh, by the way, Joe, I was downstairs looking at some of my inventory storage. I have one Winnie the Pooh Tigger coffee mug left. I got one. We're out in Allentown. I bought a whole box of Winnie the Pooh coffee mugs. I don't know.
Well, you want some more? I got some listed.
$5 for the whole box. I think there's 15 of them in there. I mean, they sell. I mean, they
60 with the buyer's premium at Cordier's for 20 coffee mugs. Disney.
Yeah, these are $5 for the box. I sold 14 of them, all between $10 and $15 worth. I only had one break in shipping. I only had to refund one person. I'm walking back to the car. Joe's like, "What'd you buy?" I'm thinking, I'm in the coffee mug business. I'm Starbucks. The Starbucks ones, though, I do grab up. If I get a Starbucks mug for less than $1, I take it, because I figure even at $13, it pays my store subscription, or just about my store subscription for the month. So, and like I said, they don't take up much room. If you pack them correctly, they don't break. So, why not?
Yeah, easy to ship.
Yeah,
easy to store.
Usually, I get them in a if they're good mugs and heavier, I'll get them in a post office. The priority 776 or the shoebox.
Yeah, the box number 4.
Yeah. Joe just laughs at some of the shit I come back to the van with if we're out yard selling together.
Yeah, I used to go out with Kurt sometimes, and I remember one time I picked up an enema bag, and I showed it to him. He goes, "What the hell would you buy that for?" I can't say.
Did you tell?
I told him, but I can't repeat it here while we're recording.
I know.
They sell for $50-$60.
Oh yeah.
I'm still looking for the big Allentown day. I hope we can all go out to Allentown here one day this spring. That was on a Saturday, right, Joe?
Here's a question for you guys. When you have a development sale on Friday, do you go back out again on Saturday?
Depends on how many sales there were.
It's not my first choice Saturday.
Yeah, I don't go back unless you're right. If there's only 2 or 3 people set up, and I know from experience and past history that usually it's a couple dozen people set up, I may go back. But there's too many times I go back the next day thinking there's more people set up, and I see the same stuff out there, and there's maybe one extra person. It's not worth my time to go through, because, by the time I sit there and go out the next day, I get out of the car, I'm like, oh, I recognize those golf clubs, so I just turn around and leave.
Yeah, I very seldomly do. If I do, it's on my list. It's the end of the list. Sorry, got the hiccups and the burps. Yeah, usually I'll swing back to it eventually some point Saturday, but it's dead last. It's very weird in our area, being in the Harrisburg area. There is like nothing on Fridays in Harrisburg on this side of the river. Of course, we're separated by the Susquehanna River for people who don't know, and this side of the river, nothing. Fridays is hardly anything. Fridays seem to be all West Shore.
Yeah, it does.
And then you can even do Thursdays if you get into Thursday yard sales or garage sales, and you start to go towards York. York will have some Thursdays. But
I never head down to York unless I got to go down for something. I don't go. I used to go out when Dover had their yard sales. Hit their auctions
down to the yard down there at Mount. What was that, Joe? Mount Royal, Mount Wolf. Yeah,
Mount Royal, and then it changed to something, and they were only there for a short time. And the guy lost his license, and then now it's Top Gun.
Yeah, that's right. Joe and I passed it, and there's a big ass helicopter there.
Yeah, they do a lot of military stuff now. So he has a sale online once a month, but he has consignment. It's like more of like a consignment shop.
Yeah, Fridays I'll so like the big neighborhood Friday in E-Town in the afternoon / evening, because they had food trucks there. I went back Saturday, but it was at the end. I was like, let me just swing through there. What the hell did I buy there Saturday? It was an estate sale, and it was actually at a little neighborhood separated from the neighborhood that was having theirs. And I bought a chronograph, the thing you shoot bullets and arrows through to tell you how fast they're going.
Okay.
So I bought one of those for $5, and a gun barrel. There's a nice Savage gun barrel there. I paid $55 for it, and the recent comp was $140. So, although the house smelled like cigarettes, something fierce. It's just, oh boy, it was bad. It was very bad. There was like 4 of us who walked into the house from the garage. We're like, God.
Yeah. With
for
my wife fighting lung cancer, if someone's smoking, I just leave. I don't bother.
It's like, I expected to see like Marlboro miles laying around or Marlboro merchandise. That's not, I mean, so bad. Like,
yeah.
That stuff came back a little bit. Sometimes some of that Marlboro stuff's pretty good.
The mugs sell. Back to mugs again.
I've sold Marlboro sleeping bags.
Mm-hmm.
Sold a Marlboro tent. Radio.
I hate tents because in order to get top dollar, you got to put it together. Too time consuming.
My boy's in Boy Scouts, so I make him do it.
Well, there you go.
It's practice. Go put this tent together. I'll come out in 10 minutes and take pictures. Let me dump this bucket of water on there too, and you stay inside. And let me know if you see any leaks.
I have bought tents where people have them put together out in their front yard. You know, if it's like an LL Bean or something like that, a higher name, brand value or something. I just take pictures before they take it down.
I've done that. I bought a North Face tent in Lancaster, down at Salunga at usually in Memorial Day or
Memorial Day and Labor Day. They run them.
Yeah, they had a North Face tent set up for like $35. I took pictures of that while I was up. Then she broke it down while I continued to shop.
Came back and picked it up.
Listed it this afternoon. Never had to put it back up.
Yep. That's the way to do it.
What are you doing that? Joe, just making sure Joe's not asleep there. He was gazing off into the mountains there.
You're quiet here.
I was going to cut the grass tonight, but I'm going to wait till tomorrow.
I might when we're done here. I don't know.
We're getting frost at night. We have frost advisories, so I fertilized last week and it's grown, but it's not pushing hard yet. I mean, I mowed all day today at work, but we have nicer grass at work than I do my house. So,
I got dandelions all over the place. I look out the back window and to my neighbor, and there's a big line right down the center. His is all green and mine's full of yellow. I told my wife, I said, we need to start paying to get someone professionally out here to do this.
I got a guy for you. I'll text you his information.
Okay.
So, I have my pesticide license, but I have it through work, so it's commercial. Pennsylvania, if you want to do it commercially, you have to have an applicator's license or a tech license if they even hand them out anymore. But he does good work. Be prepared to mow though. If I don't know what brand fertilizer he puts in, but man, it grows. And your grass is green all year long. I mean, I've referred 3 or 4 people to him.
Yeah, get information after we get off.
Yeah,
I used the bag of Scott's. I mean, it was a good bag. It was like $80, and I did the front yard.
And ain't going far.
Just the backyard.
That's like Joe with the printers. How last week I said about Joe buying all them damn printers. You see him walking into garages buying open bags of fertilizer and Scott's. Joe is probably the sole reason the last 5 years the Chesapeake Bay has had issues because he's just up there dumping shit on his grass.
And that water table.
Remember that guy who stole your mower, Joe, up the street?
Still.
The scrapper.
Thought it was scrap.
He took a break from mowing.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Ron.
My wife took my edger. No, not edger. With the long bar that zigzags back and forth. Trimmer or whatever.
Oh, the shear.
Yeah, it was an Ego. And she left it there. And it was, I think it might have been Forest Hills. And the neighbor saw it. She left it in the backyard because she was trimming the bushes. because the house was vacant. She was trying to clean it up a little bit. And the neighbor put it out by the mailbox. And of course it was gone 10 minutes later. $300 piece. You know,
didn't you, Joe?
So she had to go out and buy me another one.
25 cents.
That was my buy of the
There you go.
weekend.
I better not pick you up. I better not pick you up or drop you off one day from picking, and I better not see one damn weed in that yard.
I'm going to show you right now.
At least it's not buying like used paint or something.
Yeah, I've never seen them buy that.
I don't know why people try and sell that stuff. I mean, I know paint's expensive and everything.
I bought up at an auction in Lewistown this year. I waited and waited. I didn't want to stay. It was like the last room of the night. Something in orange cans. I forget what it was called, but it was for machinists. They clean their tools or something with it. And I bought the whole rack for $5. And there was already a guy there who was pissed off at me because he was trying to run me up. I was trying to run him up. And he's, obviously, I listed a rangefinder after I bought it. And before I paid for the item, I actually listed it because it was new in the box. Mm-hmm. And it sold during the auction while I was there. So he was upset. And after I win that whole shelving unit, and had all kinds of other stuff too, he's like, I don't know what you're going to do with that. You can't sell that on eBay. So why not? All you need is the black and white placard label for FedEx or UPS. As long as it goes ground, it's basically spray paint. So came home, listed it, sold a case of it for $250 the next day. Slapped the placard on it, sent it FedEx, never had an issue.
That's good.
Yeah, Joe was cutting his grass one day, and didn't you stop or something like that to go inside to get a glass of lemonade?
No,
came back out.
Over to the neighbors. I went in to help remove one of those little portable fireplaces or something. Come back out, the mower's gone. Scrapper come by and threw it right in the truck. Thought it was out.
He calls me, Ron. Hey, do you see a red and black pickup truck driving down there with all kinds of shitty scrap metal? No. Keep an eye out. He's got my mower. He's probably pissed. He probably burned his hand on the exhaust.
I hope he did.
Yeah.
So this week's top 3. It's not really a top 3. It's actually a best and worst. Best and worst. You ready for this, Joe? This is right up your alley.
Yeah, not my alley, your alley.
The best and worst yard sale foods or beverages or auctions, however you source material. You could be from an auction house, lunch cart, yard sale. What's your best and worst foods you've ever had?
Well, this weekend, I don't know about worst. I bought, I didn't have any finger food I could grab for breakfast. I usually have bananas or a bag of beef jerky or something like that I'd take with me in the morning. But I got 2 chocolate chip cookies with dark chocolate chunks. They were a little stale because they didn't have them covered. And then I also got a Rice Krispie treat. Haven't had one of those in 20 years.
Homemade, right? Not the store
homemade
one. Yeah. What about you, Joe?
Best one up in Allentown.
Oh, yes.
Marin. No, I know you're thinking about the Polish food. That was good too. But the marinated chicken kebabs that guy had on the stick.
Oh yeah, that was the first year we hit that neighborhood.
Yep.
The prices jumped up.
Yeah.
The prices jumped up. He didn't have it next year. We were pissed.
Yeah.
There's some yard sale. I remember the lady does Chinese food, and she always has a line. I think it's in E-Town.
Oh,
E-Town,
Lancaster.
Yeah, the egg roll lady down in Salunga.
Yeah, there's another one down there too.
Yeah, they're all throughout. Every neighborhood I hit in Lancaster so far this spring had the egg roll ladies set up, so they're good. I usually pick those up at Salunga. That's usually our lunch and dinner those days.
I like developments when there's like a food truck or something there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then you got to worry about, okay, is there a porta pot around here?
What's your worst, Joe?
The worst one for you. Any in boiling water. That's get a crock pot of boiling water with a hot dog that's blown size.
Boiled hot dogs. Yeah, not a big boiled hot dog guy. Next week, Joe, you're gonna have to sit inside because I think we're gonna have a guest next week. As long as that old man can learn some technology.
We'll see how the technology works.
Yeah, so my best and worst, obviously the best food. The same year, Joe and I were out in Allentown, the same neighborhood. Lady made homemade Polish food. Had great halutskis and halushki, which is the cabbage and noodles. And man, that was so good. That was so good. It was so good. The next year we went back to the same neighborhood. We took our own Tupperware along. That's how good that was. That was the same. After we ate that, we're still picking that neighborhood. And I see Joe walking up the street holding chicken on a stick. And it was like $1 a skewer. It was good. It was good. But he wasn't out the following year. Yeah, I don't know how he made money on that one either. The worst, I won't put them out on the internet, but let's just say it was an auction house down past Middletown. I think all he does is online stuff now too. So Joe and I were down at an auction and we were hungry, so we went outside. And they weren't even affiliated with the auction house. It was just two ladies who were cooking hot dogs and stuff, and they had the sauerkraut. And I've never seen sauerkraut so brown. Let's just say Joe and I barely made it back to Middletown before we had to stop at Sheetz.
Went through you that quick.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Yeah, that was rough.
It's
just so. So I'm a little leery now.
How do you make sauerkraut bad? How do you screw that up?
It smelled fine. It was just really dark brown.
Just heat it. Maybe it's homemade and they used a rusty slaw board or something.
I don't know, but boy, I'm lucky I didn't get a speeding ticket coming through Royalton to get into Middletown to get to that Sheetz. So best and worst yard sale foods. There's good ones. There's bad ones. That's all I got this week. Lots of sales this week. It looks like. So I'm sure next week we'll have some good finds, and I'm sure Ron, you know Shorty, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's our guest next week.
Okay.
If he learns how to operate his phone. So between Joe's shitty Wi-Fi there and Shorty's lack of technology information, you might have to do next week from inside, Joe, because you talking to Shorty and you being broken up, he's going to have a fit because he won't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, he's going to think it's his phone.
Yeah.
Tell him that it is.
Shorty's going to think it's his phone and he don't know what the hell he's doing. In all reality, it's Joe and his phone and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I know you ran into him the other day at the casino, so
yeah.
We'll see how that goes. I don't think it'll be that big of an issue. I'm going to send him a test. We're going to do a test this week so I could walk him through how to click on the link and get into the room. So.
If you do an email, he'll be good. I tried to explain a copy and paste to him, and he just looked at me like, what?
All right. Well, that's all for this week. Everybody have some good weekend sales and jot them down, and we'll see what we get.
Okay.
All right. Until next week, we'll have hopefully we'll have Shorty on. So, all right, we will see you guys later.
Okie doke.
Later.
See you guys.